Are male and female bladders different? Women's urethras are shorter, so it feels more urgent when your bladder is full. It literally feels like you'll piss yourself if you don't get to a bathroom once it reaches that point. Lol. There's more stuff in our abdominal cavity than men have. Means there's less room. Additionally, women who have given birth or survived major reproductive system trauma may have bladders that don't work so well anymore. Your muscle tone is reduced and it's harder to keep things in. A lot of women struggle with leaking and urgency after having kids. The bladders themselves are pretty similar except for two factors. The female urethra is much shorter, increasing feelings of urgency. Also, men don't have a uterus crowding the bladder, often sitting almost on top of it. This is especially true of pregnant women where the uterus and fetus squash the bladder, and hormones like progesterone and HCG can cause the bladder to contract, increasing the urge to pee even at early stages. Also, unless people are going into a lot of detail in what they tell you, cis women might be going to the bathroom to deal with menstrual stuff, not necessarily to empty their bladder. Depending on their situation, they might need to go change every 12 hours. Might be skewing your numbers, impressions. They aren't exactly different, however the urethras are. Women's urethras are much shorter and therefore women may feel more pressure and urgentness when their bladder is full. On average, men's bladders are larger. There's a lot of good info here already, but I also want to add that women are much more likely to have a urinary tract infection, UTI, than men. UTIs cause a lot of things, but two important symptoms as pertaining to your question are increased frequency of urination, increased feeling of urgency. One of the at-home remedies for UTIs is drinking a lot of water to help flush the critters out. As you can likely guess, the increased fluid intake causes even more bathroom visits. Not bladder related, but definitely bathroom related. Women are more likely to have IBS. If you've got IBS-D or IBS-M, when you gotta go, it's incredibly urgent. Shrugs, I'm not sure actually. My mom had a rule: if you're about to leave a place with a bathroom, then use the bathroom. Never hope they have one where you're going. It's one thing she taught me that stuck with me through adulthood. Everyone in our family goes before we leave. I passed it on to my kid. Also, cis women have other pelvic organs fighting for space. If you get a large uterine fibroid or start to have a uterine prolapse, your uterus can start to put pressure on your bladder. Yes, as others have said, a uterus takes up a lot of space. The average bladder capacity for a woman is 17 ounces, 500 milliliters, and for a man is 23 ounces, 700 milliliters. Having babies affects your ability to hold your pee as well. Definitely biological differences at play. Female bladders are much shorter. Also, women tend to drink more water for health, but get the same number of bathroom breaks as guys. Young women who haven't had babies shouldn't have any more of an issue than a man. Pregnant women, as the baby gets bigger, presses on the bladder, takes up area in the abdomen, sharing overall space. Different organs with the bladder, so causes issues towards late pregnancy. Women who have had babies and haven't been able to get their pelvic floor muscles back to pre-pregnancy strength may have an issue. When women go through menopause, they lose collagen and therefore muscle strength. So without targeted pelvic floor exercises, they are likely to have issues. Women can get a bladder prolapse with a weakened pelvic floor. The bladder drops and becomes visible near the vaginal opening and so can cause incontinence issues. Overweight women are likely to have pelvic floor issues without specific training of the muscle. So yes, women have different issues causing urgency and frequency of voiding to men, although not necessarily with the bladder itself. Women have smaller bladders and holding it may cause cystitis. The only time I desperately need to pee is when I've drunk a lot of water. Otherwise no. I'm a cactus and don't drink a lot of water. I know it's bad. Yes, I'll change eventually. Men are larger than women. Probably makes sense that we'd have larger bladders and more room for them inside our abdomens. Right? Men's bladders are much larger source. I went to the bodies exhibit.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Haircast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.